So, good afternoon. Today we are started our 10 lectures lessons, and I think in previous lecture lessons you discussed it and learning the information about what is logistics, why logistics in Ukraine is integration from the other countries, and what is the position of Ukraine in logistic market also, I think that you're talking about the information of different kinds of transport, how to relationships with different kinds of transport, what is the plus and minus characteristics of different kinds of transport and other. Today we started our next lectures lessons. I show you the documents. I think that you can to find this information on your Moodle courses and can to remember some words, some information, and also can to use this information during the module weeks because on the next week it is from 21. Yes, from 21 of October, from Monday to 26th of October, it is the Saturday, was opened the module test for module 1, and you can to answer some questions and to have your balls for this work. The maximizing it is 40 balls for the testing. No, it is as writing on our syllabus for our disciplines, international logistics systems. Okay, now we started lecture number 10. I show you now this information. It is about transport logistics today. Please ask me or write in our chat plus if all is okay. You can to hear me, you can to see the information on your screen, or minus if it is can't do something of it. Oh, yes, in our chat. Yes, thank you.
It's okay, but lecture number 10, I don't found in the Moodle.
Maybe in the model because we don't connect it yet, maybe. Yes, Yulia Volodymyrovna sent me the information, but maybe didn't send it in Moodle. So I do it today, and this information you can find in Moodle also. Okay, and recording of our lecture lessons also connected today, and you can to see it later if, for example, you can do it now. Okay, thank you. I do it later. So started our lectures today. It is about transport logistics. I have the same information. I open it for you. Maybe we can do with such parameters. 1 minute if I can to do. Oh yes, and it is can to see it better for us. Okay, about transport logistics. So what it is? I think in previous lections you discussed about logistics of the country, logistics of the same companies, and also now on this moment the information that logistics can be. It is about saving logistics, it is about completed logistics, also transport logistics, service logistics, yes, financial logistics, and other types. It is in everywhere in our life, everywhere in our works, we used these parameters. So about transport logistics, it is how we can to deliver something, delivery goods, or also it is delivery passengers, also baggage and different others types with transportation systems in one country or in different country also. So in the context of the formation of multimodal transport system. It is also very interesting information because multimodal transport system, it is about connected different types of transport to delivery cargo, for example, from point A to point B, and with one multimodal documents. So one multimodal documents on all these roads and different types of transport. It was very difficult first time when practice such delivery, but now we have a law about multimodal transport in Ukraine from December 2021. It was written by President, and we have this law and all terms, all informations about how to do it and how to do it in Ukraine. It was adaptation then from the different types of countries, yes, and adaptation to Ukraine. So it is very interesting and very useful. And now when we can use sea transport in full part, so we can use rail transport, cargo transport, and delivery with these types now. But when we connect it with other countries, we can do it better and realize multimodal transport systems. And also and globalization of productions, the scientific and practical solution to the problem of organizing the joint work of various modes of transport is of particular relevance as one of the most important conditions for increasing the efficiency of transport work as a process. It is very important about transport work because we can to calculate this work in something, for example, in tons, in boxes, or in other, in money. Also, yes, so it is a time, it is a time, it is different operations, it is a technologies, and it is a process. We can to calculate it in something. And the quality of transport service for industrial enterprises and the population when transporting goods. So it is transport logistics, which we can to calculate it, but it is very important for as a service parameters for passengers, for goods, and for different companies who use delivery for railway transport and other types of transport. The main objectives of organizing the joint work of various modes are, and we can to see it is a big part, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parameters, which is the main objectives of organizing the joint work of various modes. It is organizing compressions, transportation planning, and developing the transport systems. Also, it is important in every time. The most efficient use of the material and technical base of transport, balancing the needs of industrial enterprises and the population in transportation, and developing the carrying capacity of all modes of transport. We also say about different kinds of transport and how to use them on some roads. It is also important. So the next main objectives, it is establishing rational connecting of the different kinds of transport into account minimal transportation costs. If you remember the main what is logistics, it is different kinds of flow, how to organize different kinds of flow and with minimal transportation cost. It is also we use it everywhere. Minimum transportation cost, it is not every time minimum time or minimum something else operations. It is the result, minimize the result of this delivery, for example. Rational distribution of transportation between modes of transport. It is also important. Widespread introduction of new innovative technologies in transport. Also, we used it, yes. efficient use of fixed assets, materials, labor, and financial resource, economical use of electricity materials, no, and other parameters. Yes. The next, it is elimination of losses and non-production costs. We also remember it. And creation of the necessary resource of rolling stock, carrying and throughput capacities of elements of transport systems, and increasing the reliability of financing. So it is the main eight objectives of organizing work with various modes, with different kinds of modes, and I think it is important and useful to remember as the main parameters. So the next our questions, it is about also transport logistics. It is basic concept of the unified transport system of the country. So we need to see on the one country how we can to organize transport logistics. Here, we don't say about only Ukraine or only some other countries. It is the main positions in transport logistics. Okay, the unified transport system, we can see that it is UTC in the short form, is a set of communication routes, means of transportation, technical devices, and mechanism, control and communication facilities, equipment for all types of transport, united by a system of technological, technical, informational, legal, and economic relations. I already say today that it is very important to have the law about different kinds of transport system, because without it we can't work good and can't to do the law documents. It is very important when we can to organize all this process and don't have something loud in it. It is different types of documents in different kinds of transport, and it is very bad situation in the results. It is not about money, it is also about time, about connecting delivery and other positions. So it is very good when we have the law and economic relations. The UTC ensured scheduled transportation of passengers and cargo. It is all type of transportation. We don't say about cargo transportation. It is all types. It includes rail, road, sea, river, also yes, air, urban, industrial transport. We also said about it. We have transport types of transport which can use everybody of us. Yes, it is, and it is the same type of transport. It is railroad and other types of transport. Also, we have the second type of transport. It is industrial transport. It is also the same type. It is rail, sea, river, air, and other, but these types of transport can use only some companies. It is their company's transport systems, and only they can use these types of transport. It is industrial transport is the same, but we use such characteristics. As well as main oil pipelines, we also do it in practical lessons about it. It is oil product pipelines, gas pipelines, and power lines. Also, we used these different types. The UTC is designed for, and we have some parameters for this design. It is a rational redistribution of transportation between modes of transport in order to reduce transportation costs. It is also comprehensive development of the capacity of individual subsystems. For example, individual subsystem for some company, or individual subsystem for urban something, yes, and other types. It is also important. It is a comprehensive development of the capacity of individual. It is the same, sorry, coordination and unification of the parameters of technical equipment for each types of transport. We also need, for example, something equipment for heavy our cargo, to weight our cargo, to complete it, for example, and some others. Also, what we use also in these parameters, it is ensuring a unified technology and organizing of operation of modes of transport during passenger transport, integrated transport, and forwarding services. So it is also we need to use. Unification of tariffs, conditions, and rules for the transportation of passenger and goods. We also think about it. Unification of economic indicator of all types of transport, wide dissemination of advanced experience of the use of technical means and organization of the transportation process. So such different parameters, it is all about unified transport systems. It is not about all countries. Sometimes it is also can be about some region of country, for example, or some part of territory. Also, it is can be one town, different kinds of relationships with them. So the material basis of the ETC is a transport network which included communication routes for general and special use. It is main and industrial railways, for example, state, local and industrial highways, waterways and airways, pipelines and transportation oil products and gas, special monorails and cable cars. No, in Ukraine, we don't have monorails on this moment, but some countries already have monorails and also used it for urban or other types of delivery. The transport network is characterized by range, density, and output. So the indicator reflects the transport provisions and visibility of the territory of the country or individual region. No, it is about, which I say that it is not always about countries, it is, can be some region or company territory, yes, or some infrastructure territory, no, and other types. So we say about next part. It is about structural characteristics of the transport system of Ukraine. We say about our country and which types of transport we have and discuss each. And I think it is interesting, but it is, I think it is not new information for us. Yes, we learned different types of subject early and maybe already know this information. Okay, we try. So the transport complex includes includes each type of transport systems. We can just say that different types of transport. First, it is railway transport. I can use for sorry, it is a railway transport. Ukraine, 30.3 thousand kilometers with a track gauge of 15-20 millimeters. 6 round kilometers of industrial track. No, in this moment it is the information before war, but now we don't have the information which is the long kilometers for the territory of Ukraine, and it was destructive, a big part and reconstruction, and it is destructed again, and it is very difficult. So we use previous information, and the question in your model test also was by the previous information, but we know that it is not the same in this morning. It is worry, but no, it is our reality today. In Europe, for example, if we need to complete it, it is the drag height is 80, it is 1435 millimeters. It is more lower wide of the drag. So we have a more wide drag. In Europe, it is more lower drag. So we can to connect it with different types of wagons, for example, or when we can to use different types of transport for Europe wide of track and for our wide of track. Also, the next type of transport, it is automobile transport or cargo transport. Also, we used the same position in literature. In Ukraine, we have 184.1 thousand kilometers of paved roads. For example, in the USA, it is 10 times more. In Japan, it is 100,000 kilometers. It is near 1 million kilometers of automobile transport track. So it is also important. The third types of transport, it is river transport. In Ukraine, we also have river, which useful for transportation. Also, it is Dnipro, Dunai, and other short parts of river, but we can't always use it in our now situation, war situation in Ukraine. No, but we say about these types of transport also. We can use this type of transport only in summer period from some months from in the middle of spring, from the middle of spring to the middle of autumn. We can use river transport in our country, but in other countries, for example, we used river transport all year. It is about climate position and other region of countries say the same position. Sorry. The fourth transport, it is air transport. In Ukraine, it is 200,000 kilometers of airlines, but now we also can use this type of transport for cargo and for passengers because we can use our air surface without the wall. Yes. The fifth position, it is urban transport. It is trolley bus service. For example, in 45 cities, we have the trolley bus. It is tram. 21 cities has train. It is high-speed train. High-speed train we can find in every town of Ukraine, but we can see that in Kiev, Kryvyi Rog, for example, it is located high-speed train. It is a dam which is located on the special territory. It is not on the same territory which with, for example, car transport. It is the territory which located near the road in special position. Also, metropolitan free town in Ukraine have metropolitan just Kiev, Kharkov, and Dnipro. It is funicular also. It is also the town transport. It is in Kiev, Odessa. It is cable car. Car also we have in different type of town. It is Dnipro, Kiev, Odessa, Kharkov also. It is pipeline transport. It is the total age in Ukraine is more than 4,000 kilometers, in which 35,000 kilometers it is gas pipelines. In the USA, for example, it is 280,000 kilometers. It is a very big part on their territory. And the last types of transport in our positions now, it is special types of transport. What it means? What is the special types of transport? It is conveyors. It is cable cars. It is overhead and monorails. It is lifting transport, warehouse mechanism, and machines and other else. So such different types of transport we can to use in our countries, and just maybe it is all types of transport which we use now. In the recent past, we can see the next information that in the recent past, the transport of Ukraine was unified. It was based on the public form of ownership of transport resource and in connection with the implementation of market reforms and the privatization of transport vehicles, the concept of unity has disappeared. So enterprises of automobile, river, air, sea transport in the near future and rail transport also, we hope on each have been privatized and joint stock companies. Why I say in this position? Because it is very important to use market economic today, yes, and when it is privatized, it is can to discover, it is can to realize different positions and to have more money and more river of services for everybody. So it is very important. Okay, the emphasis is on competitions between modes of transport, and the market is not energy, but a fully regulation state mechanism. The main thing is a positive result for a person. For example, his well-being. It is also socio-economic security, generally accepted level of freedom, and different others. The end result also should be a resource-saving economy. The most important part of which is transport, the specificity of the transport of Ukraine, is that due to the current geopolitical conditions, is a competitive market in transport, and in many regions there is one type of transport and another complements also. So the mainline transport is public transport and provides transportation of passenger and goods between cities, industrial center, and economic regions also, no, and different other. In addition to rail, it includes automobile, sea, river, air, and pipeline transport. So we say about all types of this transport. So industrial transport is intended only for servicing institutions, organizations, and enterprises of various branches of industry and agriculture. Also, we need to say about agriculture because it is also used different types of transport. For example, it is cargo transport, automobile transport, also food delivery, different types of products, and something which we need to agriculture. And it is about pipelines with water, with different minerals, for example, because by pipelines we can use only liquid goods. We use different different materials, for example, some organic and other types with water or without water. And it is also important and used in agriculture. So we also remember about it. Yes, about industrial transport is intended only for servicing institutions, and we can to remember about it and can to find this information in different learning, different position of learning, and other types. Okay, industrial transport is intended only for servicing institution, organizations, and enterprises of various branches of industry and agriculture, and included devices for rolling stock of railway transport. It is some positions, and also it is second use transport of wide and narrow gauge. Also, we need to remember about it. It is automobile, water, special types of transport, and other. Urban transport services, intercity transportation. There is basis trams, trolleybus, metro, high-speed trams, for example, and monorails. which we can to use also, for example, helicopter, also stage and private cars and jets, so different types. The local transport service passenger and freight transportation within individual enterprises. It is specialized buses at airports, for example, and large factories. It is trucks and electric cars. It is tractors with bogies and passenger stations, no, and etc. Something other. Universal types of transport. It is also rail, road, air, sea, and river, and specialized ones are pipelines, cables suspended, conveyors, and etc. Different other types. Transport of the production sphere is internal transport, which includes the parts of industrial transport that ensures internal production movement of raw materials and means of labor. Transport of the calculation sphere is all types of main and external industrial transport that connected enterprises with railway junction station and water ports for example, also. Okay, our next page opened, and it is our next terms. No, next part of our terms. It is about transport management system of Ukraine, how we can organize it, and ways of each improvement. I propose to do a coffee break on 10 minutes because I don't have free time in Zoom, so we need to do a coffee break. And after 10 minutes, I wait you here on the same link, and we are talking about the transport management system. Okay, so I stopped our using and stop our recording. It is our first part of lessons.